blessed. Up next, you don't even need to tell me. Don't flex, not impressed. You don't even need to tell me. Can't compare to the rest. You don't even need to tell me. You don't even need to tell me. You don't even need to tell me. I'm blessed. Up next, you don't even need to tell me. Don't flex, not impressed.
And welcome back to Water Break. I'm your host RVNAI, and tonight I am with
Baqi.
Baqi, dope ass rapper. We met at an open mic that I help produce. Dark Side, shout out again.
Hey.
And honestly, I just want to know where your head's at, kind of where you can like plan to go in these next, New Year 2026,
right?
Kind of the plans and shit,
right?
For the upcoming.
Man, so there's a lot in the works. I have a debut album in the works. I'm hoping to release that around my birthday in May. I have a lot of like video content that I'm hoping to work on pretty soon. Got merchandise that I'm working on. I'm really gonna have like a whole rebranding essentially, and it's really cool to do that because I've been like working for so long like independently, just trying to figure things out, and I feel like you end up kind of being aimless sometimes with that. Like you're kind of shooting in the dark a lot of times.
When you don't have any outside input, it's hard for you to kind of gauge where you should go, right?
Yeah, and even more so like just doing things on your own for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like
when did you start producing?
Man.
Or creating music?
Well, I'll say like I wrote my first rhyme when I was like 7. You know what I'm saying? But that was really because my dad's an MC. My mom's an artist too. And so, but I really started taking things seriously like around like 8th grade or like my freshman year.
Do you remember what your first song was? Was it good?
I don't consider it good, but what I will say is, so I used to produce with my dad's DAW Reason, and then I also used to produce at school, just on GarageBand, and whenever we go to the computer lab and stuff. Instead of playing the games. Well, I would play the games a lot of times.
Was it cool math games?
Yeah, all the classic websites
shit,
and stuff. But of course, like there'd be some of that, but I'd also be on GarageBand a lot, like just experimenting with beats and actually like making, bringing like CDs that my dad has, not even telling him. You know,
would you chop it up, like sample it?
No, I would just like. I would burn it onto the CD from GarageBand so I could take it home.
Oh, I see. You had the blank CDs, so you had like beat packs.
And it was just from a stack of blank CDs that my dad would have in the garage. You know what I mean? Grab one of those and be like, okay, I'm gonna go and burn this onto the CD when I get to school. You know what I mean?
Was it kind of a secret that you were making music? Like, up to what point did you start getting comfortable sharing people?
I don't think it was ever a secret. I feel like I was kind of born into a life of artistry, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Like, just given all of the elders that I have and the family that I have, everything that I was surrounded by growing up. I feel like everybody kind of knew that I was going to dive into artistry. You know what I'm saying? It just was a matter of like giving me the space to be able to facilitate that. And then if I ever did, I would be all in. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what medium it was, whether that be, visual art like painting, graffiti, spray painting when I was like really little,
mm-hmm.
Practicing the elements. I used to be a b-boy. I used to love dancing. You know what I'm saying? I used to love all different types of stuff, like writing in the black book, just practicing like the alphabet and different hand styles and stuff.
Oh yeah, like bubble writing. Yeah,
gotcha. and even like, you know, of course, being facilitated by elders, like practicing on I forget, I think it was like an MPD. One of my uncle Chin, Mr. Chin, he had a MPD that I used to practice on when I was little. I would go over to my auntie's place.
An MPV?
MPD is, yeah, it's a beat machine.
Is it MPC?
Yeah, there's all different.
Oh, there's like
kinds.
different one. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
It's like an Akai one, right?
yeah,
Okay.
essentially. Maybe if I can't, maybe post production, I'll send you a picture. We can like put that.
Yeah, I'll just
in
like
there.
if I can put it right here.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, you know, whether it be like working on beat machines when I was really young, or like being around DJs and seeing people work on the turntables and stuff, like all of that like molded me at a really young age. And I think it just really took me coming into awareness of myself to be able to start showing everybody.
As for
You know what
like,
I'm saying?
what's it called? So you had multiple avenues you could have taken, right?
Right.
Why do you think rapping became kind of more the target, right? Because
Yeah.
for me, like I think I do a lot in terms of DJing. I engineer, I
Right,
produce, I also rap, sing.
Yeah.
But you know, there's like this kind of attraction towards just this one.
Right.
Like this is gonna be
right.
my
That's
focus.
the core. Right.
So I guess why that?
Dang, that's a really good question. I think like I think when I was younger, looking at like lectures from KRS-One and first learning about the elements of hip hop, I think it just made sense. Like for me, I was the type of person that like right off the bat when I learned about the elements of hip hop, it was like I wanted to practice all the elements and be nice at all the elements, like a kung fu master or something. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Bruce Lee, like you can like don't fear the man who knows 1,000 techniques. Fear
Yo,
the man that yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like I wanted to just be nice, and the whole like concept of showing and improving. You know what I'm saying? Like that always reigned true with me. Just throughout all of this, from first watching KRS-One like as a little kid to now. And so I think like lyricism is just a perfect way to be able to, like Nina Simone said, like reflect the times and like, and also bring people into your world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like as artists, we are creators inherently. And so with that, like, superpower almost, we create worlds. We can create the world that we want.
Kind of bring people into it for like whatever, how long that album might be, and then just like a movie in terms.
100%. When you watch a movie, the person that made that movie is bringing you into their mind. They're bringing you into the way they see the world. And it might just be one idea that they're expanding upon. Like, this is an idea I have of this. And let me show you what the world would look like with this idea.
Have you seen that thing where there's only a limited amount of ideas that can technically be created?
That's interesting.
But like it's just everybody's interpretation of those things.
Right. That's interesting. Like, I always felt like I always resonated with the concept of like, because, you know, I love science. I'm not even going to cap. Like, the concept of just like the ever expanding universe, right? And something I had heard recently was just a thought about how like the universe is ever expanding just because we're always putting thoughts, we're always creating things. And even when you think something, it exists somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So like it starts with the thought, and that thought exists somewhere in space time. So like the ever expanding universe is continuously expanding because we're always thinking and we're always
projecting into the universe. Therefore,
we're always creating new realities. You know what I'm saying? New potentials.
Because if you can like think it, then it could exist. I always think about this too. Like, so recently I went to the desert, right? And I was just thinking to myself, there's nothing out here. How the fuck did everything that we have in society come to happen?
Right.
Like, how the fuck is my phone connected to the fucking Wi-Fi and I'm playing music to my car?
Right.
Like,
right.
shit just like it just blows my mind. Like we made all this shit from nature.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. That's something that like I think about a lot. Like I remember as a kid, I used to think because we would take road trips a lot. Like I would be like driving the in-between zones in between the big cities and stuff, you know, and it's just barren.
There's nothing,
you know. and my first thought would be like, what did this look like 500 years ago? Like, what did the land look like? Like, how lush was the forest? How big were the trees? If we have the redwood forest.
Have you been there?
I haven't been there yet still, and I need to go. I know I missed the opportunity to go when I was younger, but that's a whole bunch of other shit.
This is like one thing, like, so with the redwoods, there's this stump that's been cut down. You can stand in the center. It's just so big. Like, you can only imagine, like, giants walking amongst this shit.
You can fit cars through them trees, like, you know, and that's the thing is, like, that forest is young. Well, like, I'm saying, compared to the pictures you have of, like, what America looked like
prehistoric
America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before the pioneers, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even during that time, like the pictures you see where it's like 15, 20 men taken to cut down a big old tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff
getting paid nothing to do that either.
Yeah, that stuff is crazy. But, you know, I just would always think about, like, I wonder what nature looked like before, really pre-colonialization. You know what I'm saying? So that is always, like, a trippy thought to have, because I'm like, man, at that time the trees were bigger. There was probably way more animals. Things were probably tasted better. Food, probably, you know, fruit probably tasted better.
I think there's a thing too, like, if you stop eating like food of nowadays, like, that's like processed and stuff, like, it's gonna taste bad once you get back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. I don't know if you had like an experience.
I think I have a way out theory, but part of me feels like with all the stuff that's been coming out, regardless, I mean, this shouldn't be far-fetched for people, but, like, I really feel like if what people talk about when it comes to, like, the earth going through, like, a shift, like a paradigm shift or something, if you think about the way the world was before the pandemic, like, I think things now is interesting. Like, I was eating meat a couple of years before the pandemic, and it just didn't. Like, a couple of years after, I just couldn't do it.
Did it taste off in a way?
Yeah. No, I mean, and then not even just that. It was just it's just like I'm very much somebody that studies a lot. So, like, I love learning about frequencies. I love learning about the connection between shapes and colors and sound, you know. So,
like, frequencies is like and shapes. That's all math related, right?
100%. It's all math science related, but they all factor into reality, right? So, like, the reason why I say that is just because I feel like there is a frequency change throughout those years, right? To where certain things just don't make sense or don't make as much sense with the way that we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you see other countries and people do eat meat, but still the way that America industrializes and capitalizes and makes everything a commodity is very, I mean, we see, like I said, we see with everything coming out is like it's very, you know, sinister. So it's like, for me, that was also a way for me to kind of balance myself out, aside from like physically, like metaphysically, mentally, like to be able to be like, okay, I know what I'm putting in my body, you know what I mean? And as soon as I took more awareness of that, it was like, okay. I mean, I already had a lot of awareness of that because I'm not even gonna lie, in terms of music, when I was younger, I when trap music came out, I'm not even gonna cap. I was not.
You was not on it.
I wasn't.
I was hating. I was a hater.
I wasn't messing with none of it.
I was like, it's not the '90s.
It didn't. Well, like for me, I grew up like in a Baptist Christian / Muslim household. Whenever I was at my grandparents' place.
So in terms of like ideology, that affect kind of your perspective on the music?
Like my dad was Muslim, my grandparents are Christian. So like there was always like, I always had to just study in general, you know what I mean? So when music like that came out, it was like, it felt like I was, well, for one, I was too young to listen to a lot of the stuff anyways. Like I was really into like G-Unit, ironically. And like Biggie, obviously, Tupac, and fucking, you know, A Tribe Called Quest, and
has your perspective changed on trap music? Because I feel like, I guess, hip hop that I still appreciate, like, can take influences from trap music and turn it into something more, I guess, positive. In a way?
Yeah. So, like, what it is. See, what it is my perspective has changed on that. I've become a lot more like open-eared in general, just to sounds and music in general, because I feel like there's no such thing as like a bad sound, so to speak. It's all, especially if we're talking frequency, you know what I mean? There's no inherently bad sound. It's just, it's not as pleasant to the ear, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And everybody has what they like. So for me, it's just a matter of like what is for me and what isn't. I know that there's music out there that wasn't made with me as a listener in mind. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I try and gravitate to things that I relate to in a way where I can tell they were making this was made for me, my ears.
I think the cool thing too is that someone from that world could say the same thing about the music that you produce. Right. Because it's ultimately a reflection of their reality, right? They're talking about their own experiences. 100%. And the cool thing too about, like, let's say trap music, like, while I may not identify with the subject matter that they might be speaking about, I could definitely like appreciate the melodies that they use, the way that they approach a beat in terms of like the flows.
Bro, like I'll tell you, like, that's why I was like, so a better way to answer the question is just like, I was almost going to say no, my perspective hasn't changed on trap music, but that's just because of the fact that like I understand that there is an underlying, like I see the underlying agenda within the entertainment industry as a whole. So my perspective on that has not changed. But at the same time, my perspective in terms of just like all of the artists that are out there and being able to create freely and just like creating and being yourself is, you know what I mean? Like I had to realize, like, when I listened to Underachievers, I always say the Underachievers had me understand Denzel Curry.
Wait, you didn't like mess with Denzel Curry when he came out?
I shouldn't say I didn't mess with him, but I just didn't. It wasn't on my radar. Okay. It wasn't even in my scope. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have even ever found Denzel Curry if I didn't listen to Underachievers. You know what I'm saying? And certain things like that, it's like being able to appreciate artistry no matter where it comes from, that's kind of what had me understand a lot more sounds in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it took a lot, doesn't matter what artist it is out there, it took a lot to create what they created. And I give all artists credit for that. You know what I'm saying? But still, at a certain point, just especially with the way the world is, I'm the kind of artist that does want to reflect the times and also reflect my perspective of the times, because I feel like we all have a unique perspective to share. So that's where I make the choice to make the art that I make. But then, you know, I still, myself, I might rhyme over a song that somebody would say, oh, that's a trap beat. For me, it's just hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
It's all hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of what you do with it. What you're doing with it makes it hip hop, not necessarily the sound itself. So it could be any type of sound.
Mm-hmm.
But are you hip hopping? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like KRS One, he breaks it down and says, you know, like hip hop, even the words.
Consciousness in motion. I went to one of his master classes, bro.
Yeah, you know, are you hip to the hop?
Yeah.
And it sounds like goofy, I know, to the youngins and stuff, but it's just like still, or I'm saying like that old school type of vibe, but still in a philosophy perspective, like that is what the underground is all about. The underground isn't necessarily about not being popular or not being like successful. You still want to be successful, but it's just a matter of like, you only know if you know. And if you're in the know, that means you're hip to the hop.
I also think too, with let's say like trap artists, or even us too.
Yeah.
We can evolve, like even we evolve as artists, right?
100%.
So even if like the first project isn't necessarily like might be seem amateur or something.
Right.
I've seen these artists that maybe I kind of turned away on the first listen. Maybe on their fourth album, I'm like, oh shit, they added like all this instrumentation.
That's
like,
why,
for example, I think 21 Savage, right? I think when he first came out, I was just like, But then he dropped Greater Than I Am, or what was the album? It was like this album. I'll probably put it right here. But anyway, like he kind of showed me, oh shit, it's the album with A Lot with J. Cole on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that album I like kind of listened to it. I was like, oh shit, like he grew because he was given that chance.
No, 100%. And honestly, I feel like that's the reason why you gotta let the music live. You know what I'm saying? My mom would always tell me, as soon as you make something, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
It's the rest of the world's now. They're all gonna dissect it and eat it up and do whatever they want to it.
Have you accepted that? Since you're gonna be releasing an album soon.
Of course, I've accepted that. It's been ingrained in me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you still have ways of coping with negative criticism or people that like feel like how you said on the inverse side, what you made isn't for their ears, and that's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so for me, it's like, it's just a matter of like respecting the art overall, and like that's when usually I'll end up giving an artist a chance, especially when I say a chance, I say like meaning like give them my ear and actually give them a listen
without any bias. Or I mean, we're always gonna have bias, but try not to let that interfere with the listen.
You know, no, 100%, and then you know even more so like, who am I to say I know what is the standard for artistry? Aside from the fact of like when it comes to hip hop, I know that there's certain that's the whole reason for the elements. The whole reason for the elements is to be able to see, like when you have a recipe, the things that are on the recipe are the elements of the recipe that make up what that recipe is. So when you are able to see the elements, that's how you know you got what you have, you know. So when I see the elements, I'm like, hip hop. Word. You know what I'm saying? And regardless, you know, everything else is just, I look at it like as artistry. And if it's not artistry, then, you know, I don't know what it is. But still,
Product?
Yeah, no, 100% product. And that's okay too. You know what I mean? That's their prerogative. So it's like,
at least I hope they're honest with it too.
right, you know, but we can nobody can really control that. So at the end of the day, that's where it's like, that's where it comes down to live and let live, right? You know, like being able to allow people to live the path that they're on. And especially as artists, allowing ourselves to do that and not even, you know, really be so quick to compare ourselves in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all on a unique path as an artist and as a human being. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a beautiful thing across the board. Doesn't matter what artist it is. You know what I mean? But what I do think is there's a lot of room to grow as a society when it comes to making art that reflects the times that we're in. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, we're already here. You know what I'm saying? There's already so much beautiful, amazing music out. I kind of don't like when people get into, like, the mindset of, like, music nowadays is trash, and, like, there's no good artists out, and, like, there's so much amazing music. You know what I mean? Constantly.
You gotta really find it. But, like, some people might be stuck in the past too, where they're just like, oh, the music back in the day was so much better.
Yeah.
I think
no,
is there like a 100% bias? I don't know, some psychology term, something.
Yeah,
like that.
No, 100%.
Because a lot of people gravitate toward music, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
A lot of the music that I typically listen to is stuff from when I was in my adolescence, when I was coming of age, right?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that I come back to. And I've noticed that with family members, noticed that with friends. The songs that they go back to is when they were going through that transitionary period.
That nostalgia.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like, really good times. So for them to kind of listen to music now and kind of, like, incorporate that into their personal life.
Right.
And have it become regular part of the routine, it's a little harder.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. And I think, like, chasing that nostalgia, I do that myself, you know what I'm saying? But also, I think I'm just kind of weird. That's all. You know, that's the only difference. I mean, we're all weird in our own ways, but the way that I'm weird is just, like, my ear be all over the place. So, like...
What's some, like, out-of-pocket stuff you listen to?
Man. I gotta think of, like, the most randomest thing ever.
Like some video game soundtracks.
Oh, no, for sure. Like, Shaun White OSTs and shit, you know what I'm saying?
The fucking snowboarding game?
Yeah, bro, heck yeah. You know,
okay.
like old PS1 game OSTs and stuff.
Roblox
anime
noises.
OSTs. I'm trying to think. Like, I anything from the 80s, you know, I love listening to jazz. That's not really out of pocket because jazz and hip hop are kind of like, you know, the perfect fusion. But
listen to, like, anything like electronic music?
Yeah, no, I used to love techno.
Okay.
I used to be shuffling. She used to be shuffling it up.
I would assume b-boy, right? Yeah.
No, I b-boyed too, you know what I'm saying? But I b-boyed, shuffled, jerked, all of that, all the Cali shit.
You ever hit up, like, some underground raves and shit?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was way too young to be there. Didn't do nothing crazy, but, like, I was shuffling for sure, gloving, all that.
I think there was this one time, I went to this, like, rave in LA. Like, I was new to the whole fucking thing, right? Bro, tell me why it was in the vending machine. It was fucking just drugs. Like, you could just choose your fucking number, and I'm like, oh, hell nah.
Now I would go to, like, EDC, little EDC
like
raves and stuff like that. Like, and it was cool. It was, like, real, how do I say it, kosher, you know what I mean? It wasn't, like...
Nothing, like, real, like, too crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
I would not partake, just for the record. I'm on that shit.
But I have been to festivals and shit like that once I got a little older, and that was a little crazy, you know what I'm saying, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think like techno. I used to love rock. I mean, not used to love. I love rock. I love rock music. I love all types of music. World music. I love listening to Brazilian music. You know, anything,
samba.
anything from.
Even know what's it called, bossa nova?
Yeah, bossa nova. I love listening to what else? Yeah, my cousin was showing me this app. I forget the name of it, or really it was a website.
Shazam?
Nah, it's similar to Shazam, but it's kind of like more so the type of thing where you can find samples
Tracklib.
from any place around the world, and it has a map, and you can literally like click on a country,
And it gives you a random song?
It'll give you a song, but not only just a random song, but it'll give you a song. You can type in it'll give you a list of dates, like the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 80s, the 90s. And you can look up all the music that was out at that time from that country. Mm-hmm. And it's like the dopest sampling thing ever, because it's like, you know, world music, like you think while they were having a Harlem Renaissance here in America,
that was happening everywhere else.
What did music sound like everywhere else? Yeah, so like I'm also somebody that really loves like history, and I love studying the history of music and
seeing how certain events affected the actual music in those places.
100%, and just seeing how everything unfolded into today. You know what I'm saying? So like having an awareness of that stuff. Of course, the rabbit hole is infinitely deep. I just love getting lost and shit like that, you know.
What were your influences growing up? Because like for me, like so I'm Salvadorian and Ecuadorian, so I had like a lot of Spanish stuff, right?
Yeah, no.
So yeah, not Mexican. But you know, much love to my Mexicans.
Hey, shout out to Ecuador for real.
But what's it called? So obviously listening to salsa, cumbias, and all that. Like hip hop is kind of like out of the way for that, right? But I was introduced through my siblings and stuff, right? Yeah. So they bring around like rock. I have 7 siblings.
Word,
so just
bro.
I have all that kind of coming into me.
Right.
So I'll like show you some like stuff later, but like I'd be able to sample like some Latino stuff.
Yeah.
But for you, influences.
Man, obviously like Karis One was a big one. Not even just in the music, but just
as a person.
The philosophy, the teachings outside of the music was what really like brought me in. Like I used to watch, like literally, I used to watch his hour-long lectures, and I would, not just one, like I would go through them, you know what I'm saying? Like, and once I watched all the ones I could find, I would watch them again. You know what I'm saying? I was just that hooked.
So you kind of like ingrained that into your head too?
Yeah, no, ingrained the entire philosophy of hip-hop into my head. And that's like one of the biggest ones for sure. And then, you know, the Roots, Black Thought, Malik B, Dilla, rest in peace. Shout out to, hey, it was just Dilla Day. I wish I could have attended, man. But yeah, Dilla, you know, Madlib, Flying Lotus. When I got to my freshman year, I had met 2
College,
friends. High school. I had met 2 friends, and they were like 2 of my homies that were the only people in my school that knew as much about hip hop as I did, and that were inspired by hip hop as much as I was. Like they were the only homies I knew that were like having, you know, b-boy sessions at school.
Did y'all freestyle during lunch?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And just like, you know,
it's important to have like people like that within your life, like during that like I said, that period, just because it kind of reinforces what you already know. Man,
and you know, one of my homies, he was like, he was the first person I knew like my age that had turntables in his room and stuff, and like we would go to his room and after school, and we would put on Adult Swim and we would like have anime or different cartoons playing with the audio off, and we just would
You'd be scoring it.
We would bump like Adult Swim bumps. We would play Adult Swim bumps, or just random beats. You know what I mean? That was like before lo-fi was called lo-fi, but it was still out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was like, I had found out about somebody named like Golden Panda, DiBiase, Nujabes, Asheru, Can Kick. I can. If you let me, I can go down the list. Hold up.
Just gonna like do this.
You know what I'm saying? Lin Q, Das Effects, freaking Far Side, A Tribe Called Quest, wait, I got more. Pharoah Monch, Mos Def, Typical Cats, Call of the Wild.
He's putting you on game right now. Y'all should go check these out.
Who else? There's a lot more. We can go back to that list or something. Yeah, but I'm gonna think of more as we go when we go through this conversation for sure.
Are you heavily inspired by like New York?
Oh, for sure.
Because like I'm like thinking of like who you just said right now, and like I'm not like would you get Southern influences like in California too?
Yeah, no. So I'm definitely like, I studied in New York a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that I'm from New York after I
talked to
performed
Ari,
this shit.
and like she was like, I asked Baqi where he's from because you were giving New York. Like,
yeah. No, like I studied New York a lot for sure. Like the boroughs, and just
it's the birthplace of hip hop, so I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, and just all the different styles, man. Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
36 Chambers.
Who's
your favorite Wu-Tang member?
That's so tough. I don't have a favorite. I can't say I have a favorite. They're all amazing, bro. Like, and then you gotta think about their answer. Like their answer is like they all say each other pretty much. Like, but then at the same time, Abbott, the RZA, is the Abbott.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know what an Abbott is, the Abbott is the sensei.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the RZA is crazy. The Jizza is crazy. Inspector Deck. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Czarface. Like
ODB just because how like loud he was, bro.
ODB is amazing. Shout out to YDB, too. Peace to you, bro. Peace to YDB. Much respect to YDB. Big Pun. Much respect to Chris Rivers, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. And the Pun family. Straight up. Everybody. I'm trying to think. So I do have a lot of New York influence. I also have a lot of Cali influence though.
Have you been to New York?
Yes. I've been to New York, but like I've been to New York like twice, and both times it was like brief. And I don't feel like I got to really get the full experience, you know what I'm saying? It was actually kind of a traumatic fucking experience, I'm not even gonna lie.
You can't go into it, or?
Let's just say, like, got out there, thought we could stay where we were gonna stay. We were only able to stay there for like 2 weeks. And then we had to like
find like a new place.
We had to dip.
Yeah.
We had to get out of there.
I remember my first time in New York. What's it called? I had like this place in New Jersey, and bruh.
We were in New Jersey.
Oh, you were in New Jersey? I was in Hoboken.
Okay. No, we were. I want to say, where were we? I don't even remember, bro. It was like right across the bridge. Damn. Newark. We were in Newark.
Newark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Newark. Yeah.
So, bro, tell me like why my plane was landing.
Yeah.
Phone just turned off. I have all the info of like where I'm supposed to stay, like on my phone. Like how the fuck am I supposed to get around, dude? And like we're just like trying to figure my way out because we're gonna stay there like the night. And I'm just like, it's already like come like nightfall and shit. So I'm just like stressing. I was like, bruh, never again.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like I love New York, so like that being my first experience is like
But if you can handle that.
But the cool thing was like, I mean, I think I turned 18 like as soon as we crossed the border, because I was born at like 12 o'clock on the dot. Oh. So like,
you believe in like numerology?
When it comes to stuff like that, I don't even, the way my brain works, it's not even a matter of like whether I believe in it or not. It's just like.
It is.
Yeah, if it is, it is. If it's not, I wouldn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then also with things like that, I do factor in like whether or not I resonate fully with certain things or not. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's cool because on one hand, our ancestors always studied the stars and the cosmos in relative to what's going on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. I think that's always like we're trying to like find answers for the unknown. So we try to like, I guess, get these things to provide that answer.
Right. But then on the other hand, it's always within us. The answer's everything.
Yeah.
It's always within us. So like, and that just means like we know the way. And if we don't know the way, we'll be guided always. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like.
Do you mind going to kind of like, so I see like you have like some jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, 100%.
They obviously mean something to you. So like, how do they, what do they symbolize for you? And you can kind of show the camera too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mad stuff.
A lot of these are gifts, and some of these are gifts to myself, and then some of these are gifts from loved ones. Yeah. These are all gifts. I make jewelry as well. I make copper jewelry. I got, this is from Beloved. This is from when I was on the African continent, my first tour, the African Hiphop Caravan. You know, my rings. I always wore rings. I don't know why I started wearing rings. It was like in high school. I've been through so many different styles. Like I used to be the kid that would like just show up to school in a button up and a vest just randomly and dress shoes. Or the next day I'd show up.
Would you go to church after?
No, just to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just for vibes.
Like I see like your style, like has definitely what's called. You have style about you, so I can only see like you want to like kind of show off during school too, or not?
No, just strictly for vibes. Just like I just like wanted to wear a suit today, and then another day I might be wearing my Spider-Man gloves with the fingers cut off and a flannel with the sleeves cut off with a hoodie underneath it.
But you do the Naruto run during lunch or not?
You said what?
Did you do the Naruto run during lunch?
Nah.
Oh, you went that kid? Okay.
Nah, for sure not.
For sure.
But I was homies with that kid though. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with everybody. I was cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was always a nerd, but I was always like vibing though at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's the type of thing where this is interesting. I think what's another thing? We were talking influences too, huh?
And it's more just an observational question, but I see you wear a lot of green. Favorite color?
That's okay. So we would have to have like a whole like podcast dedicated to this, but like I don't necessarily even have a favorite color. Like I fuck with all the colors. But that's because the way that I understand color. Like the way that I understand color is light. So like the whole light spectrum, I fuck with all of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every color has every color affects you differently.
Like for me personally, like I love purple. That's my favorite color.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love like, and so green is just a color that I tend to gravitate to a lot lately.
Just like earth tones.
Yeah. That, and I kind of, like I said, I love all the colors. So it's like when I think about green, I think about the color spectrum as a whole, and I think about what green like feels like, I guess. Green, yeah, feels like nature. Green feels like
balance.
Earth, balance, yeah. And so depending on how I'm feeling, I might be wearing that color, essentially.
I like when artists kind of, for different eras of their albums, they kind of change the color of their like album and
like
the feel
theme.
of it. Yeah.
Right. No, I wanted to do that with my projects, actually. I mean, if anybody's been following along with my journey, and for anybody that ends up following along with my journey, there's some lore that you guys could have. But like with my projects, my first project is called Zero, and I'm doing that. I wanted to go in chronological order with my projects. So my unreleased project.
We're getting like a scoop on it. Are you gonna drop the name?
I can give you guys the name because it's been unreleased for so long, and I've been teasing songs from it anyways. But yeah, so my unreleased project is called Chronicles of Ohm, and I made Ohm into an acronym, and it stands for One Mind. So Chronicles of One Mind.
Ohm is also a mantra, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Ohm is, Ohm is a resonant frequency that is like a natural. It's a natural resonant frequency that we get in nature, essentially. But nonetheless, yeah, so my first project is Zero, and I made that because when I was in high school, I was like, just with forward thinking, I was like, this is the first project that I'm dropping, but it's like, it's everything to me and it's nothing at the same time, because I know that I have way more
to provide. So therefore, like, this is going to be the baseline. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Zero to superhero. Yeah.
Yeah, it's infinity, right? So it's like, it's everything to me and it's nothing at the same time. It's just the beginning. It's not even the beginning, right? So the project that I've been sitting on for a long time was supposed to be, that's Chronicles of One Mind. We got the one in there. This project is obviously it's gonna be something along the lines of two, right? You know what I'm saying? And things like that. I love attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? So
like with Ed Sheeran, his albums, like he does like minus division, like they're symbols. They're literally just symbols. He has like play, rewind, and I think his last one is gonna be, I think it's like either reverse. Pretty much, it's gonna be released after he dies.
That's ill.
Like some shit like that.
That's so ill.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think, like, when I look at whether it be colors, whether it be shapes, sounds, like, I see a bridge between all of those things. Like how when we look at like cymatics being like the physical representation of sound, right? When you take a flat sheet of something, you take a flat sheet of metal or something, and you get sand,
and it starts,
and you play a frequency, and the sand is in a random pattern, you know what I'm saying? But you play a frequency, and it turns into a shape. Now, like, if we're at the point in humanity where we can do things like that, I can only imagine the type of things that we can intentionally create, in terms of, like, what if you could what if you can know the frequency of how somebody looks, or like the frequency of a literal picture or something, right? You could turn that, or I should say, vice versa. What if we can make music that
Visual.
that turns into a
Because we've
visual?
already done like so
You know what I'm saying?
vinyl, right?
Right.
So vinyl is literally just inscriptions of vibrations onto
100%.
vinyl, right? So being able to kind of like take it to the next level and do as you said, make that a visual.
Like you can, if you had the right frequencies playing, you can make a song that would make your video.
That's just crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just where my mind goes with things. Hell, you can make a song that creates a color.
That's the thing though that humans do. It's called synesthesia. I think Pharrell has it.
Word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think.
Or you associate colors, not that it produces color, but like you're able to kind of like hear, like you said, these frequencies.
Right.
And just in your head, it just kind of pops.
It invokes.
It's like a visualizer.
Right. No, 100%. And I think the more we dive into things like that, I just think that it's just going to make things a lot more fun in terms of everything that we can do. I like being way out there in terms of like the possibilities of artistry and music and where our like literally like our advances as a planet can like make things even more creative and like I don't know, just even more dope. You know what I'm saying? Just like I wanna try and invent an instrument one day. Why not?
Exactly. I mean, I've seen
You
people
know
do
what
other
I'm
shit. Yeah.
Like the stuff that I'm seeing that we're capable of, we're obviously capable of so much more if we're at this level now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's also for me where my brain is so way out there. That's what when I say like I'm just a weirdo just like everybody else, but that's the way I'm weird. It's like I think of colors and it makes me think about cymatics, or it makes me think about like if I am gonna do a show, that makes me think about the color blue, because usually the color blue has things to do with like vocalization and like your throat, you know what I'm saying, like speaking, articulating.
So it's more to like enhance your ability during the performance, right? Like, would you wear blue or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd wear blue, or even, I mean, and I wouldn't say just to enhance, you know, like it could be maybe it's a placebo, you know what I'm saying? But if it is, and if I'm trying to do it to enhance, it could be a placebo.
Because I've had certain placebos,
But,
like let's say like chewing, like let's say during school, like I'd chew gum during tests, or like chew
Right.
gum on Sunday and then chew gum during like tests. I do that.
Right.
And then even like some like, do you have any like not rituals but more things you don't do before you perform? I don't
Yeah.
like typically like drinking, so
Yeah.
I don't drink before performing. I don't want to
Yeah.
rely on that.
Yeah, no, I don't really like, I'm not a heavy drinker like that. I drink like very much so on occasion, and like even that is like rare. Like when I say I drink on occasion, I know most people are like, oh, I drink on occasion, but they're still drinking every weekend. Like, nah, I drink like, what is the occasion that we're drinking?
Is it socializing? Yeah, I
You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying?
Yeah.
If it is an occasion, I might have a drink. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I'm not going to have like...
Two. It's more than one. Yeah.
I'm going to have a shot, one. Or I'm going to have like a whiskey sour or something. One glass. And that's it.
To kind of pivot back to your album, right? You've said that you kind of spoken about this album for, years.
Yeah.
What do you think stopped you from dropping it?
Oh, well, what I was talking about actually is two different projects. So the project that that I've been sitting on for the longest time. What really stopped me from dropping was just life things. You know what I'm saying? Just experiencing life. I didn't have a phone. I decided to go off grid for a good 5 years.
How did that like for me personally?
Yeah.
Since I deal with so much technology.
Yeah.
How do you think that helped you, or even like how did that change you? Since we live in this technological world.
Yeah.
Did it kind of separate you from a lot of society? In terms of like, whoa, what the hell? Like you don't have a phone?
There was pros and cons for sure. Yeah. Like one of the pros was not being so controlled and pushed and pulled by what's going on, by all of the noise.
Okay.
You know
external forces.
Yeah, and being able to like really focus and be present on what's going on in my life. And I really needed to do that at that time. And then also, I mean, one of the cons was just afterwards, like the disconnection that I felt afterwards, because it was all this time.
And it's everything's progressing way too fast, so it's just
everything
new.
is different. Like it was like I was in my own prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Essentially, like when people in prison come back to the world and they're experiencing social media for the first time, that's what it felt like. It was like everything. It felt weird to have a phone in my pocket.
What was the hardest thing to learn?
The hardest thing to learn was what I was talking about to you earlier, which I'm still having a hard time dealing with, which is just responding to people.
Because you forget you got the fucking phone. You're like, just walking about your fucking day and shit.
Yeah, bro. I be like, so in the moment.
You're forgetting like people can like reach you at any time, any day. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I feel like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like sheerly, like I get really down on myself about it. But then at the same time, it's like I want to be able to have this connection that I did have, because I do have a strong community that I'm connected to, especially a community within hip hop that I'm connected to out here in California, all up on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, not just here, but like internationally too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of people that I miss, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that I want to be able to make sure I am connected with. I have comrades on the continent that I haven't talked to in years, you know what I'm saying? I feel horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I've just been going through a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's the good and bad too. Like, you know, sometimes I have my days where like I look at this phone, I'm just like, bro, like, please get this away from me, right?
Yeah.
But then even then, like sometimes like I want to be able to hit people up that I haven't like talked to in years, like you said,
100%.
right?
And then on top of that, you know, just being an artist in this day and age, it's like it's not enough that you spit a 64 bar verse. It's not enough that you have. It's not enough if you.
How many followers you got? You gotta like you gotta play the game, you know. Just like
it's like it's not enough. It's not enough. It doesn't matter, and that's where. It's like it's not enough to who.
Yeah.
That's what really matters.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, if that isn't enough, then that's not the right audience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the artistry isn't enough, then. You know what I mean? It's hard to want to even do anything else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard to want to do the business part if the artistry part isn't enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I just say like as artists now we have to have some sort of social currency. You can't just focus on the art and let it speak for itself.
Right. So that's where
even if you know like it's fucking great, like if you want to be a successful artist, you have to fucking play the game.
Yeah, you know, and that's where that's probably the most difficult thing. You said it there. It's just learning to play the game. Like, because for me, like, I didn't understand. Like, I would watch interviews from all different types of people that I would look up to growing up, and I didn't understand what they meant when they would be all vague and be like, oh, you know, what's some advice that you would give to the youth and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, just be consistent, just grind hard, just work hard, just believe in yourself. A lot of those things are very surface level, or it sounds surface level when you don't understand like the tangible steps to get to some of the milestones and the goals that you want to get to as an artist. But then at the same time, depending on how they word it or depending on what's said, it can be very deep at the same time, where it's like, the best thing that you can do is dive into the artistry at all times. So yeah, a lot of times I would see stuff like that, and I wouldn't understand what they meant when they said, like, believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying? Believe in the vision. That seemed very like mundane, surface level. Like, give me, like, what are the actual steps that it takes to get there?
The thing is, all of us are gonna have our own journey too.
Right.
Like, there's no gonna be like one.
There's no right
There's
step.
no rule book. Like, there's no blueprint for having this type of career.
100%. And
But
so
I guess they're just giving you what they know. Be consistent in what you think is right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the deep part. That's where that comes in, because it's like, okay, like wait, my brain fart. Can we pause real quick? Brain fart.
Transition. All right.
Okay.
You good.
What were you even talking about?
Consistency.
Okay. So for me, it's like, it took a long time for me to figure out how to get to some of the milestones that I wanted to get to, right? But the thing that reigned true throughout the time was just creating and going along with whatever idea I can come up with, but really trying to do it justice, and like make sure that I'm prioritizing artistry over everything. So like, whether it be like, no matter what I was going through, it was like I would try and find ways to create any way that I could. And so, not having a phone coupled with just going through it in life, like, that's what had that take so long for me to even get to the point where I feel like the project, I don't even feel like my unreleased project is actually even done still. It's just like a project of like roughs that I recorded at different points in time, at different places with different homies.
But at a certain point, you're just gonna have to release it and see that speak for itself.
100%. I'm gonna have to release it as it is.
I feel like at least the most progress I made is when I just stopped overthinking and just fucking did it.
Right.
And just let it let it fall where they may, and just take what opportunities are given through that.
Right.
And
that's where I've been trying to, just get better at. I shouldn't say trying. I've been working on getting better at just showing up. Like, that's something that I told myself, like, I really need to, if I am going to apply myself and apply my artistry and do this, then I need to show up not only for the sake of the art, but for the sake of the future that I'm trying to get to. So like, with that, it's like I have to snap myself out of it and be like, okay, I pushed and tried not to play the game for so long. Now I gotta play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even sitting on bench, you're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah.
Take out the fucking take out the sweats. But for kind of this last segment,
yeah.
do you have any words for your future self and anybody that wants to follow you on this journey of you pursuing your artistry?
Man, that's a trip. I should be thinking about that, and I haven't even thought about, like, I do be thinking about that, but not in this sense. So I'm like, a message to my future self is like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I told you, bro, I told you to believe, you know what I'm saying? Look what happened. We here, you know what I'm saying? You are watching this, and this happened in the past at this point when you're watching this, but the future that you're watching this in is the reality that we were talking about here, you know what I'm saying? And we've been talking about, which is sheer and utter success for not only myself, but my brother here and all of our loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that we know, like for real. And I just want you to know that you should trust your path, bruv. That's all you gotta do is trust your path. And we speaking to the future self. And to the loved ones and to everybody supporting, like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make y'all proud. I hope I'm able to make y'all proud. And much love, like, for real. I think you guys have no clue what I got in store for y'all. And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm fiending to show y'all. I'm having to be patient. Be patient with me, please. Please. But yeah, there's a lot more in store. And just know, like, as much as I'm doing this to be able to bring y'all into my world, this is for me, this is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is for us, by us, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I look forward to the future. I look forward to building. I look forward to growing. I look forward to the collaborations that I'm about to have. I look forward to traveling a lot more. I look forward to touring and fucking doing some crazy shit. If it, you know what I'm saying? Not if we can, but when we can. When we can. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
All right. Yeah. Appreciate you for coming through. This has been Water Break. I've been your host, Renee. This
is Baqi. Yeah, from the 503, but also, you know what I mean, really, not from the 503, but I rep the whole West Coast. We out here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And thank y'all. See y'all next time.
Peace.